and welcome to the last episode of What's Happening. This is a show where we talk about everything from worldly issues to the latest entertainment topics, and we have so much in store for you. Josh, how are you feeling? You excited?
I am excited. It's our last episode, and it's going to be so unforgettable, honestly. And it's just so crazy to think, like, this started off in January, and now, like, through 7 episodes, this is our last episode. But we're wrapping up the season with an awesome fan base and a live studio audience. Let's give it to our audience.
We also want to give a shout out to DJ Velli and DJ Simi for teeing us up all season. And then also, of course, our live studios audience that have been here to support us. So before we get into like all the recaps and all the like sad stuff, we're going to have to talk about what's happening. So Josh, what you got?
Yes, all right. So something that's been talked about in the media a lot recently is the rant that Kanye West went on. Kanye posted a series of tweets that talked about race, political parties, and even supporting Trump and his presidency. However, that's not all. As of yesterday, in a TMZ interview, Kanye also voiced his opinion on slavery. Let's take a look at the video.
You hear about slavery for 400 years. For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks. It's like slavery, Holocaust Jews, slavery is blacks. So prison is something that unites us as one race.
So, yeah, I know.
What are you saying?
It all started with that picture.
I want to know, what do y'all think about this?
I'm going to let y'all give your you know where I'm at, so I'm going to let y'all give your opinions first because I'll go on a rant and nobody will talk after that.
Kayla, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I just think it's disgusting. Like, I don't understand how we're at the stage where we are today, where we have, like, in a certain essence, come so far, but we still have a lot further to go. And we have somebody that's such a huge public figure, and on not just a regular public figure, but he's from Chicago, from the south side of Chicago. And he's representing black people in this light as if, like, none of this stuff ever happened to us. Like, oh, we just chose. And it makes it seem as though now that he has some sort of privilege due to, like, the success that he has had in his life, he's not using that to uplift black people, but to tear us down as a whole and just kind of erase the history of everything that we went through that was so hard. Like, I just don't understand how you could discredit that.
It's like I feel like he doesn't even, some people truly talk with their foot in their mouth. Like, I don't think he's realizing what he's saying and the impact that his words are having. Like,
I think he realizes the impact, but
he could realize the impact. And I think he even realized the impact when the guy who said something to him afterwards, he was saying something like, you know, like, this isn't right to say, this is basically ignorant.
Yeah, the man
and I think Kanye kind of realized what he was saying, like the impact it had at that point. But I just think that maybe some people are saying there is a fuller, like a longer interview out there of everything that was saying.
It was real.
So I would say look at the longer interview to get all the context. But I do think that people are saying that his intentions wasn't that, but I feel like there's no way to discredit.
Honestly, I get what he said when Kanye brought a free thing. I think you should be allowed to think whatever you want. I think Chance was even right when Chance said not all black people have to be a Democrat. But at the same time, don't put me down in order to build up your opinion. You feel me? So, like, the fact that he's saying we've been talking about slavery for 400 years, we've been talking about it because slavery has not died and gone away. Slavery has just changed its name. Slavery went from physical shackles to now your mental shackles, which was what he was talking about. But at the same time, he was saying, why don't we get over it? Why don't we let it go? Why don't we let it go by? It's not that easy. Jim Crow is the new slavery, and people aren't understanding that.
That has us still segregated today. Why can't you just get over it? Why is it still such a big deal? It's crazy to me because it's really just used to speak about slavery. We don't say those things when it comes to, like, the Holocaust. Throw
that out of our textbooks.
And it's just
I just
ridiculous.
feel like I just really want to know, like, would he say those type of things if someone who went through slavery or escaped, you know, some like survivors of slavery today? I want to know, would he say something like that?
I feel like he would say. I would feel like he would say it because honestly, Kanye may have came from Chicago. That's not who he is now.
No, he's definitely not.
He's changed over time, and honestly, the fact that he even tried to compare himself to being a theory of Willie Lynch. You're not my leader. You're not the leader of my community. I'm sorry, you can claim other people, but I'll never follow you because you don't stand for what I stand for. You don't see the things I see on a regular basis. You're sitting with the good guys at the table, and you get to chat it up. You don't get looked at in a certain way. When we have men every single day walking down the street facing
it's
issues,
like he forgot
you don't
that
see
he don't have to
anymore.
live. Like he don't have to live that
That's
life
not his
anymore
life
because
anymore.
he has a different lifestyle. This conversation
I could go
can
on
go
for
on
hours.
forever.
Literally.
Hours.
We can talk about this more on Facebook if y'all want to.
We
know,
should.
tune into the
Yeah.
Hit us
conversation.
up
We
on
definitely
Facebook.
can.
Please hit
But
us up on Facebook.
That's all I have. Ashley, what do you have? What's happening?
All right. On a lighter note,
Right, after
so when we
that.
first started getting the show together, Josh, Kayla, and I, we were all sitting down talking about our perspectives on relationships and commitments, and I think it's definitely a conversation that needs to be continued. So I wanted to know how long you all think people should stay in the talking stage, and do people date like they used to?
It's funny the way she looked at me when she said that.
Because
I feel
I already
so
know
different
I already
about
know.
it. I know.
Everybody know how Kayla feel about a relationship. Everybody get married. Everybody love each
Right,
other.
right,
Everybody stay
right.
together forever. Don't break up. No divorce.
That's
and
exactly.
Look, y'all. Y'all have to understand the background I've come from. Both sets of my grandparents, even though my grandfather on my mom's side has passed away, they were together for over 50 years. My other grandparents are both still alive, together for over 50 years. I
Yeah, my
have
grandpa's
such strong representation of marriage throughout
But
my
my parents have
entire
been
family.
married for 48 years almost. They're old.
So what are you?
Everybody
So
knows
what
that.
is your timeline? What do you?
I
How
mean,
long do you feel like people should
My
be talking
timeline
before
is
they
by
get
next
serious?
year I will have a master's degree. My timeline is 4 years after that I'm gonna have a doctorate. My
Woo!
timeline is after timeline after
yes,
that is
yes.
I'm going to settle down and have a family. If the man comes at that time, he's gonna have to
That's-
fall in line.
that's-
I'm not
that's
gonna fall
how-
See,
with
but
him.
that's great and all, but I feel like that's the reason why we're in the predicament we are with this generation. Nobody puts a priority on love anymore. Love
It's
comes
not my
last.
priority.
It's-
I don't
and that's
need
the-
someone
that's
to
the thing,
love to
because
survive.
it-
It's a great
No,
great.
yeah,
to
it
have.
is.
It's
But
like
why
if I,
can't you?
it's like if I buy an apartment. I have the apartment. Do I need the dishwasher? I don't need it, but I
But why
want it.
can't you
I
have
don't
it
need
all?
a man.
Why can't you have
You can.
a job
You
and a
can.
relationship?
I don't
Like,
need it.
Why is it that it
You
has to be,
definitely can.
oh, I
And
have to have all this stuff with
and
my
I-
But
job,
you
but
can
I
have
can't
it.
have
You can
relationship?
have it.
I'm in
I'm
between.
choosing to say
I
it's gonna
hear you,
fall
sis.
where it falls.
I feel you. It's gonna fall where it falls for me too, but I'm just saying it's not like on the back burner of my list.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's still something
It's
that
gonna
is
be,
like,
I mean, I'm
yeah,
talking
it's
to
gonna
somebody,
be
but
different
it's
from
like-
everyone, and I feel like I said, I'm very in between. Like I think that love is important, and I do think that our generation we put our priorities on so much other things that it's like we forget love,
got
which is why our
dreams.
generation is in the problem that it is when it comes to relationships.
Hello?
However, there is nothing wrong with putting yourself first, because if
right.
you
There's
want to
nothing wrong
have a
with that at
career,
all.
if someone's gonna divert me from where I want to go in life, then it's
shouldn't
always
let
about
some-
moving with
yeah,
person.
You
It's gonna
shouldn't let
be
somebody like
different.
put you off track.
Yeah.
Nobody should ever put you off track. A relationship is supposed to complement you. So if the
Right.
relationship is not doing that, then that is not a relationship. That is something that is meant to tear you down.
And I feel
agree.
like the person that comes along is going to compliment me when it's that time,
When
but
it's
I'm
that
not going to go
time.
searching. It's kind of like how we said in the previous episodes, I'm not going to go searching for somebody because at this point in my life, I'm not at a stage where I know I'm ready to get married tomorrow. I know for a fact
agree.
I'm not at that because I'm still finding myself. I'm still working on my own mental
agree.
health. So I can't drag somebody into my
I
crap.
agree. And we jump too much into relationships without focusing on ourselves and healing ourselves. And I
Facts.
think that's not saying that you're like this at all, because I know you're not. But I'm just saying, some people just like, oh, like love, love, love. I need a relationship. I don't want to be alone. And that's the
Right.
problem. People are scared of being alone. And because they're dumping into all these relationships, they're not having time for themselves.
They don't
and
have
healing
stable
themselves. They don't have
foundations.
stable foundations.
I agree with that.
So when they are alone,
You
then they're just
definitely
like
have to have a
lost,
stable
'cause they, like,
foundation.
But I also think I wish I could go back to the time when dating was fun. Like you didn't have to be considered a hoe to date multiple people all at the same time. You can
True.
go around and say, okay, I'm going out with Josh on Monday, but I'm gonna have dinner with Frank on Tuesday, and then I'm gonna see Pharrell on Thursday.
options, people.
Like
Nothing
I wish
wrong
it was
with
like
them.
that.
It's
And now if you
2018.
do that, everybody's going to call you out on it for being whatever they think you are. But you can't do that anymore, and it's kind of getting annoying. I mean, relationship is a relationship. I think you should take it as you want.
Well, this is another conversation we definitely should continue because
Yeah.
I have a lot more to say about
Right.
this. But we're going to have to take a quick break. But when we come back, our amazing friend Emily will be joining us again today to play a new game with the host. So stay tuned. You're watching What's Happening.
Straight on college, and I was in the left-hand lane at a red light. So I started to go. I don't know if the other car had a green arrow beforehand or if the light turned green and they just assumed it was okay to go. But I remember seeing the other driver just kind of looking up as if it was from a phone right the second before our cars just collided. My airbag went off and my car filled with smoke and dust from it. There's no reason to text and drive. It can wait.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the topic and build a conversation.
It comes with its many responsibilities.
To say Uptown because I really like the normal theater.
The SMAC, to bring in statistics, trends.
By bringing in various voices, all as we try to help determine the bottom line.
Hi, Daly. Thanks for having me. The ban on tackle football in Illinois is the most backwards thing I've ever heard.
Tune in next week, 12:30, right here on The Bottom Line. Have a great day.
So at TV10, I've done both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and that has helped me become more aware of what's going on, especially when I want to become a producer later on in my life.
You actually go out in the field and record videos, and you work with the journalists. Or I'd be going out and shooting B-roll or interviews.
If it's editing, you can learn that. If it's directing, you can do that. If it's shooting, they have that here too.
Reporting for TV10 News, I'm Maddie Weiris.
Shauna Jackson. I'm a photojournalist at Fox 4 News, KDFW in Dallas, Fort Worth. We get assigned a story and we go out and get interviews, do live shots, edit in the field sometimes, feedback the video, and then go live. TV10, I did shooting, interviews, and editing. Everything that I learned at TV10 is exactly what I'm doing.
So at TV10, I've done both behind the scenes and in front of the camera, and that has helped me become more aware of what's going on, especially when I want to become a producer later on in my life.
You actually go out in the field and record videos, and you work with the journalists. Or I'd be going out and shooting B-roll or interviews.
If it's editing, you can learn that. If it's directing, you can do that. If it's shooting, they have that here too.
Reporting for TV10 News, I'm Maddie Weiris.
The average college student has 6 to 8 fast food meals a week. Don't be a statistic. Eat healthy.
Hey y'all, and welcome back to the show. My co-host and I wanted to play a fun game that highlights our personalities, and here to help us out with that is someone that is sort of crazy but has an awesome personality. Everyone give it up for our dear friend and the producer of our sister show all the way from It's So Funny. We have Emily Long.
Woo! Thank you so much for having me. Okay, so this game, it's pretty simple. You guys are all going to be competing against each other. I'm going to name descriptions of who you guys think this person is most likely in the hosts, okay? All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, so most likely to get riled up over a topic. Who is that? Oh, Kayla.
Did you not just see her?
All right.
Did you not just see her?
I voted Ashley.
You tried.
You think it's Ashley? Oh,
Ashley
it's
does too, though.
Actually, yeah, both do.
I do get kind of riled. I get riled up if it's like a social justice issue.
Oh, okay. Well, most likely to be out of dress code. Oh, Josh! Oh, man.
They say that.
Yeah,
like,
Josh started with a white shirt today.
There's no saving you, Josh. There's no saving you. Oh, man. All right, so most likely to throw shade at Josh. Who is that? Let's
Every
figure it
episode.
out.
Come on, Ashley, now.
She's lying. Wait, first of all.
It's not shade if it's a fact.
Listen. Oh!
That was shady.
That was shade. Thank you.
That was shady.
Oh, okay, well, let's
Ashley,
be realistic.
You're the brother I
When
always
you're
wanted.
sitting that far across the table, does he really need shade? Because he's sitting in it. Oh,
Again, it's so funny.
All right.
We
Okay.
love Emily, guys. We love her.
Who is most likely to forget its show date?
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
Kayla got
crazy.
here. What time does the show start, Josh?
Caleb, I'll be surprised you don't get past 7.
Kayla, can you tell me, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Can you remember? Oh, okay. So, most likely to have a breakdown before and after the show. Oh, wow.
Y'all see how things are just lining up?
Hold on. But let me explain myself.
No, you can't explain
I
that.
always have breakdowns. Like, this is just who I am.
That
as
is
a
not
person.
normal.
That's not okay.
It's not like bad breakdowns. It's just kind of like
It's not
like
bad.
no, it's
We
not
all
like
have
a
I wish
mental
I know
breakdown.
what
It's
you
just
told me
like
to say before the show started.
she will
Just
go.
FYI.
I said
show's
that
gonna
we're
be
in
awful.
shambles. We were in shambles before the show.
Okay, in shambles. You know, we're in shambles right now. So most likely to cry when the show is over.
I'm gonna go Ashley.
Ashley, and
Why would
Kayla.
Ashley, you said you were gonna cry on the
Ashley,
last
I know you
episode.
pretty
I was
well,
lying.
and I could give
I
you.
never said it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry. I'll be A-okay.
Anyways, so most likely to always find a way to disagree with a comment. Who is our devil's advocate always? Josh and Ashley and mix. It's a mix.
Yeah.
It's
I would
a
say
mix.
no.
I think that's what makes our show great, though, because we all find ways to be devil's advocate in different conversations.
Let's cut it. We all know it's Josh, right? we all know it's
I like
Josh
to present
already.
both sides. And
Josh
then-
is always like, well, listen to me, because I've got something better to say.
Kayla and I going
That's
at it,
not
and
true.
Josh will pick his side according to what's
I
better.
am not that well. I'm actually a girl, so I don't want to get booted off the table. I need to
So
You'll get kicked out.
walk accordingly.
Who is most likely to actually have their own show, their own talk show one day? Woo! Oh, the solidarity. Nice.
Hey, yes.
Oh,
I'll be
solidarity.
successful.
We all like.
And who's gonna make sure everybody makes it after that? And who's gonna cut the checks? And who's gonna give me a bonus? Okay.
Kayla.
No. Wait. So now Ashley's done, right? No. She's never done. She's gonna keep going forever.
Well,
amazing.
Emily, thank you so much
you.
for hosting the game. And everyone, don't forget to go ahead and check out the last episode of It's So Funny next Wednesday night, May 9th from 6:30 to 7 if you're looking for a laugh. And Emily, I just want to thank you for everything you've done for us this season and for supporting us and being the best assistant producer ever and keeping us safe.
Thank you.
So we have to take a quick break, but when we return, we are going to sit down with a student who wrote a paper on a very interesting topic. Stay tuned for more on what's happening. Can't talk today.
Yeah,
Protesters stayed out in the cold and rain.
Under any leadership,
This thing will take my job.
A night of defying odds.
empowering journalism Monday through Friday.
And lifting new strengths.
Reporting for TV10,
For TV10 News,
For TV10 News,
Giovanni LeBron.
I'm Mike Smith.
I'm Rachel Devereaux.
Your news at noon starts right now.
Bloomington Normal's one and only live newscast, TV10 News.
After my friend was in a car accident, she needed blood, and it dawned on me that someone gave this blood to save her.
I donate blood because it's easy to do and free.
Donate blood because I believe it's the right thing to do.
Donating blood is very important to the people in my community.
Well, as a college student, I don't have a lot of money, but this is a free way that I can help out.
I donate blood to help others in need.
Wow, you really know how to party.
Take a shot, man.
Nah, I gotta drive. I can't drink.
Dude, come on. Take the shot.
No, I'm done.
Time out. Before you have sex, make sure your partner always gives you consent first. Otherwise, it's rape. Consent. Pass it on.
Only 54% of college students regularly use a condom during sex. So make sure to stop by the G-Spot today to pick up your free condoms. Safe sex. Pass it on.
1 in 4 students will get an STI in college, so make sure you're scheduling regular appointments with Student Health Services. STIs. Don't pass it on.
My name is Christian Stoynev, and I'm a professional hand balancer. I was a reporter, and then I became an anchor. I eventually had my own segment. It was called Who's Ballin', Who's Fallin'. TV10 helped me a ton with not just knowing how to speak in front of a camera, but also knowing what it's like to be behind the camera. It definitely helps me not only in knowing what the interviewers are asking me, but also just knowing how to understand from both perspectives.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. So as you all know, every episode we like to sit down with someone and talk about something they have done in the community or an up-and-coming business that they have started. Today we are going to look at the scholarly side of things, and joining us today we have a grad student who wrote a very interesting paper about Black athletes and the athletic profession. Here to give us some interesting insight, everyone please help me welcome Derek.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, you know, especially on such notice, but
Try again.
Short notice?
There you go.
Short notice.
There you go.
And so thank you for being here. But so I just wanted to ask you, what made you? Can you guys explain what your paper's about?
So my paper was on race and motivation. I was just interested in looking at how Black athletes, as we all know, make up the majority of athletics, especially revenue sports like basketball and football, and how white coaches kind of affects their cultural development and the atmosphere going through college athletics.
Okay, so what sort of inspired this? What made this paper come about?
Well, I coached at the University of Wisconsin. I coached track and field last year before I came here, and then currently I coach track and field here. I'm a volunteer assistant, so I kind of see both the ins and outs. And I was a student athlete as well, so I had white coaches, I had Black coaches, and I kind of saw there was some significant differences that I think were important. They're important to discuss.
I did read some of your paper.
Yeah.
It was a 20-page paper, so I did read some of it. But I did see
the abstract.
The abstract. I did see a part of the paper that was talking about, like you said, you were at Wisconsin, and apparently there was an issue that happened at Wisconsin regarding race with the coaches and things going on campus. What was that like, especially on the athletic?
So the incident that occurred, it was there was a student in one of the football games, and he had an Obama mask on. It was during Halloween, and he had a noose around his neck. And he was in the game for about 3.5 quarters before anybody said anything, because predominantly the stadium is packed full of white people, so they don't really understand the significance of lynching. So what happened was somebody ended up hearing about it. There was a picture that went viral. The Black student athletes were livid. They were extremely upset, as I'm sure you guys would be. And so what ended up happening, Barry Alvarez, who's the AD, he sent an email, and it was kind of educating people about lynching and why that symbolism was so destructive and dangerous for Black student athletes, especially football players, as Black football players on the field. And you got these audience members just letting this kid run around with this noose around his neck. And
so he did address the situation.
He addressed it. He addressed it. But hearing the kind of the dialogue between other coaches, white coaches, Black coaches, was very interesting because things were very different. So some coaches were indifferent towards this act, and Black coaches were discussing it, and we were extremely upset. And it was just weird to hear coaches saying, "Well, I don't feel any certain type of way about it." And it's like, you have Black student athletes on your team. How would that affect their culture or their growth if they feel like they don't have a coach they can go talk to about this? Who's their outlet?
Now, one thing you said was you felt, apparently the people in the audience didn't sort of I guess you said they were ignorant to it or something like that.
Yeah, they didn't react at all.
Do you think it's that they aren't aware of how it affects us, or simply because it doesn't directly impact them, they don't really care?
Well, I mean, that's an interesting question because I think about that myself. I asked my classmates one day, because I'm sometimes the only Black kid in my class. I mean, you don't really understand what that's like unless it's happened to you.
Right.
So I don't know. It might be willful ignorance. It just might be plain ignorance. I don't know. But it was still a problem that that it wasn't addressed. That he was able to kind of just.
I think it's sort of like a spiral of silence theory. If nobody around you is that first person that speaks up, you're not going to speak up as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, are you in athletics at all? Do you play a sport here, or are you just kind of?
No, I'm too old now.
Okay.
I'm too old.
So did you used to?
Yeah,
you used to play?
Yeah, cool. I used to run track.
Well, yeah. So
what
thank
did
you.
You run?
400 hurdles.
Oh, I
Okay, I
do
can't keep up.
1600.
That's right.
Yeah.
200, I would have smoked it.
Well, thank you so much, Derek, for joining us. It was really a pleasure having you here. We do have to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to take a look back at our journey here of what's happening. Stay tuned. You're watching What's Happening.
Hello everybody, I'm Brian and I'm the music director at WZ&D Radio. Every week I'll be on the beat for 10 on 10, giving you the latest music news. On the Loose comes off of Niall's debut solo album, Flicker, and telling you what we were doing over at the radio station. This week at WZ&D, we've been honored by the Broadcast Education Association as the winner of the 2018 Signature Station. I'm Brian. On the beat, I'll see you every Friday at 12:30 on 10 on 10.
My name is Randy Henry, producer director for WDIV TV. We attended Illinois State 1973 to 1976. The part about, TV 10, at that time we were like so primitive. I love television. I've been doing it for a long time. My job consists of, as a director, I'm like conductor of an orchestra. I lead everybody when to talk, when not to talk, when to put them on camera. And it's called News 4 Today.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show. Honestly, guys, it's just so crazy that we made it through an entire semester.
True.
Putting together episodes of What's Happening for every other Wednesday. And our friend PJ has put together a little recap video for us to see some of the best moments of our season on the show. Let's take a look at the video.
Okay.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley, your girl with the bum buns, and welcome back to another episode of What's Happening.
It's crazy. I want to say from the beginning, they had the little kinks to work out, but after that second show, everything just went flawless for them.
Sort of draw an influence from a special known DJ.
People came not just for the people to be hosting the show, but they came to see their peers bring about issues and talk about things that they related to, and it was really cool to see.
Courtney, go out and get your thoughts on stereotypes and why you feel they are issues today. So, Courtney, what did you find out?
And I found every beat I could on YouTube, and I just started freestyling. Created like a Rolodex.
Right.
And then from there, it just started growing, and I started meeting all these other people and seeing how they created.
We didn't just create a show through TV 10. I think it's a bigger meaning. This was like the first black talk show TV 10 has ever put on. And for us to be the people that started that, knowing that this started off as a YouTube channel idea, and to now see all that it's progressed to see people want to pick it up and to take it on next year, it's just a really good feeling.
A month or two ago, where just these guys, they were teenagers, they were minding their business, they were at the mall, and because they were just a group of people, like police would start following them, and just, it's like, why are you putting people just because of their skin color, like you just assume certain things?
So we started to organize ourselves, and after it started off shaky, it got better. Now I look at the show and I'm like, wow, after 7 episodes, it's kind of like, it's really over, and you're like,
It's really been a wild ride putting together this show. Like, we literally started off thinking about making this show as a YouTube channel.
In my living room.
Yeah, like, we've all met
so
up
weird,
and we were just like, yeah, let's make a YouTube channel.
It's insane. We ended up being able to take it on and be on this type of scale and have a successful season. And I'm sure our fans really want to know, what do you all plan to do after the show?
Well, although we will be moving on after this season, we do really want to keep the show going. Like, I think a lot of people love the show. It's something that has kind of good momentum. So I think it would be a cool idea to keep it going. And, like we said, we are the first, all-black cast to have a show on TV 10. And so it helped, definitely. And so, it helped break down barriers, give a voice to people on our campus who really normally didn't have one, and kind of discuss issues on, a bigger scale. So I just think it was, we're proud of ourselves.
Yeah, it was
pat on the back.
Yeah.
It was honestly really, really great. It kind of took off bigger than what I could have really imagined or thought it would have been. Like, it feels like we did pretty much everything, and people don't realize like how much work we put into this show.
It was writing scripts,
we did
video,
everything.
It was making calls even the night before. It was trying to see if we even had a DJ. It was a lot of work.
We did everything, and so it was a lot of work, but we made it, and we're here, and I know Josh is graduating, Ashley's graduating.
Out this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss
Ashley's
Kayla,
I'll still
y'all.
be here, but I'm gonna be out of here in December. Out this mug. But if this is something that you're interested in helping us continue next semester, please DM our Twitter page and let us know. Although we do prefer some broadcast journalism students and people that are kind of in production, we're definitely considering other people as well. So reach out to us for sure.
It has been such an honor to go live every other Wednesday and have fun with our live studio audience.
And we definitely, yes, give it up for the audience. And we'd like to give a special thank you to Bob and Laura, because without them, this would not be possible. I wish we could get the cameras on down. Hi, Bob and Laura.
Hi, Bob and
and
Laura.
so thank you to all of our friends from TV10 as well. Like, in our sister show, It's So Funny. Like, y'all have been so supportive and amazing. We could not have done this without you all.
Nope. And it's been great ISU, but that's all we have for you on the last episode of
What's Happening?